Hey, what's good guys? This is Nightwing2303 from WearTesters.com. Today we got a detailed look at these guys right here. This is Dwayne Wade's 6th signature sneaker. This is the Way of Wade 6. Alright guys, so I have been very excited to try these out. I know that it's taken me a while to grab a pair, but I have one now, so let's go ahead and take a closer look. The first thing I want to talk about is actually the cushion. The cushion is brand new in a sense to the Way of Wade line or li-ning. I'm not sure what to call them because they've kind of like distanced themselves from the li-ning brand. They only have one li-ning logo on the entire sneaker, and it's right here on the back interior collar, and then they've muted it by making it the same color as the upper, whereas you can see the Wade logo prominently right here on the midsole area as well as on the tongue. It says Wade way down there on the lace structure as well as behind the tongue. There's even some branding on the outsole as well. So I'm just going to kind of refer to these as a Wade shoe and not a li-ning shoe. So the cushion on these guys, like I was saying, is something different for this brand or this line. Now we have 3 markings right here. The first one is cloud foam. That's actually not new to the Wade brand or li-ning. However, this is the best feeling cloud foam we've had because every cloud foam that I've used before has definitely felt like the exact opposite of a cloud. It's felt more like a brick, and these guys right here, this is like way nicer. Meanwhile, the second logo is the cushion symbol, and again, that's something that both the Wade line and li-ning have been using for years, and the cushion is actually inside the heel. So the cloud foam is the carrier, cushion is in the heel, and then we have something new which is called drive foam, and that is located in the forefoot. Not only is it located in the forefoot, but it encompasses the entire forefoot from top to bottom, side to side. Now the interesting thing about this drive foam is, for one, it's super comfortable. For two, the reason being is because the people that made the Boost cushion actually made this cushion. I don't know how to say this company's name, but it's BASF, and they're located in Germany. They created Boost. They created this stuff called Drive Foam. They've created other foams as well for different brands. Basically, they are like the leading manufacturer of foam cushions. Much like Ortholite is kind of like the leading manufacturer of insoles. These guys make foam cushion, and they do it better than everybody. Now, in my opinion, the most interesting thing about this Drive Foam is the fact that it is actually stated that it's polyurethane elastopan. I'm not exactly sure what that means. All I know is that polyurethane is a type of foam, a really old foam, but then they seem to have mixed it with something that's very elastic, and you can actually feel it underfoot. I was very surprised at how comfortable these were on foot. This is the most comfortable Wade shoe I've ever worn, and I've worn all of them, and this is the one. This is the one that finally gets cushion right. Well, the 4 was good too, but this like totally beats those. And then the insole is crazy nice. That's something that reminds me of the old Reebok Question insoles, but not quite as thick. It's got an extra cushion pad in the heel. Meanwhile, the rest of the insole is actually well cushioned as well, just a little bit thinner. So if you're looking for cushion, this is definitely going to be one of those shoes that you're going to want to keep an eye on. I was definitely surprised with how comfortable they were. So if you've tried Wade models in the past and you've just kind of been like, I don't know, this one you might want to actually go back and try. Now going back to the outsole, the exterior portion is translucent. Meanwhile, they have all these little individual traction pods of solid rubber. I've already played in these a little bit, and the traction was okay, but the floor that I've been playing on is complete trash. So take that with a grain of salt. This is not a performance review. I'm going to be playing in these on all the different floors that I normally play on, at least 3 to 4 different courts. And I do that with all of my shoes. So when I do give you my opinion on the traction, I'm basing it off of different court conditions. Some of these courts are really old. Some of them are brand new. So just keep that in mind. You can also see the carbon fiber shank right there. And this is definitely not that super solid, really huge restricted one that you might have seen in the Way of Wade 2. Instead, they've shrunken it down a bit. This is literally all where it's at, and I think that that's perfect. Now the materials on these guys is a full knit. I think that this is the nicest materials we've had since the original 2 Wades, and those 2 featured leather, so that was kind of like old school construction. These guys complete knit. It's very similar to the Future Legend Low from Brand Black and the J Crossover 2. It's pretty much identical actually. Like the way that it feels and the way that it's structured, it's nearly identical to those 2 shoes. And then what I like is that the tongue area is a little bit stretchy, but it's kind of like in a one-piece booty construction, and then you have the internal booty inside. Then there are some very thin skin fused type pieces of overlays right here in the high wear areas. I'm glad that they did not put it on this side because it just would have made the shoe look a little bit too busy. I think they look super clean as is, but they did add a little bit of glue for some reinforcement so that that knit does not stretch too much. Now they've stated that this strap right here is actually carbon fiber. I don't know if carbon fiber can actually be like real malleable like that. I'm not a carbon fiber expert or anything like that, so but the carbon fiber that I'm used to is kind of like this stuff, but this is definitely a fiber that they've cross hatched and then they put it inside a rubbery TPU for the strap. It's just a graphic. It's not going to make the strap any stronger than it would have been without it. Then inside the shoe, we have a quilted liner. It's not super plush or anything, but it looks really clean. And that's pretty much it. As far as sizing, I was recommended to go down half a size. So that's what I actually did. When I first tried them on, I was kind of like, I'm not sure, these feel a little bit too tight. But then once I started running around in them, they stretch out just a little bit and they feel perfect now. And then wide footers, I think if you go true to size, you should be good to go. And like I said, that pretty much takes care of it. Big shout out to Sunlight Station for sending these over. I will leave a link to their shop down below in the description box. They're an overseas company where they'll ship worldwide if you're interested in these guys. Stay tuned for the upcoming performance review. We actually just had one published today on WearTesters.com. So if you want to see one of our testers' opinions on the shoe, you can go ahead and check that out. I'll also leave that link in the description just in case anybody's wondering. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all the support. And until next time, guys, have a good one.